Chris Connor and the Two Lonely Monkeys. Once upon a time, there was a brave boy called Chris Connor. He was on the way to see his friend Leslie Hill when he decided to take a shortcut through Terabithia Forest. It wasn't long before Chris got lost. He looked around, but all he could see were trees. Nervously, he felt into his bag for his favorite toy, Jessie, but Jessie was nowhere to be found. Chris began to panic. He felt sure he had packed Jessie. To make matters worse, he was starting to feel hungry. Unexpectedly, he saw a lovely monkey dressed in a green top hat disappearing into the trees. How odd, thought Chris. For the want of anything better to do, he decided to follow the peculiarly dressed monkey. Perhaps it could tell him the way out of the forest. Eventually, Chris reached a clearing. In the clearing were three houses, one made from carrots, one made from ice cream, and one made from toffees. Chris could feel his tummy rumbling. Looking at the houses did nothing to ease his hunger. "Hello," he called. "Is anybody there?" Nobody replied. Chris looked at the roof on the closest house and wondered if it would be rude to eat somebody else's chimney. Obviously, it would be impolite to eat a whole house, but perhaps it would be considered acceptable to nibble the odd feature in a tiny need. A crackle broke through the air, giving Chris a fright. A witch jumped into the space in front of the houses. She was carrying a cage. In that cage was Jessie. "Jessie, shut up!" He turned to the witch. "That's my toy." Get Jessie back," cried Chris. "No," said the witch. Let's let Jessie out of that cage." Before she could reply, two lovely monkeys rushed in from a footpath on the other side of the clearing. Chris recognized the one in the green top hat that he'd seen earlier. The witch seemed to recognize him too. "Hello, big monkey," said the witch. "Hello." The monkey noticed Jessie. "Who is this?" "That's Jessie," explained the witch. "Oh, Jessie would look lovely in my house. Give it to me," demanded the monkey. The witch shook her head. "Jessie's staying with me." Chris interrupted. "Jessie lives with me, and not in a cage." Big Monkey ignored him. "Is there nothing you'll trade?" he asked the witch. The witch thought for a moment, then said, "I'd like to be entertained. I release him to anybody who can eat a hole from a front door." Big Monkey looked at the house made from toffees and said, "No problem. I could eat an entire house made from toffees if I wanted to." "That's nothing," said the next monkey. "I could eat two houses." "There's no need to shut up," said the witch. "Just eat one front door, and I'll let you have Jessie." Chris watched, feeling very worried. He didn't want the witch to give Jessie to Big Monkey. He didn't think Jessie would like living with a lovely monkey, away from his house and all his other toys. The other monkeys watched while Big Monkey withdrew a knife and fork from his pocket. "I'll eat this whole house," said Big Monkey. Big Monkey pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from ice cream. He wolfed it down, smiled, and went back for more. Eventually, Big Monkey started to get, but after a few more forkfuls of ice cream, he grew to the size of a large snow wall. I don't feel too good, said Big Monkey. Suddenly he started to roll. He grown so round that he could no longer balance. Help! He cried as he rolled off down a slope into the forest. Big Monkey never finished eating the front door made from ice cream, and Jessie remained trapped in the witch's cage. Average Monkey approached the house made from Toffees. "I'll lead this whole house," said Average Monkey. Average Monkey pulled out a corner of the front door of the house made from Toffees. She gulped it down, smiled, and went back for more. After a while, Average Monkey started to look a little queasy. She grew greener. A woodcutter walked into the clearing. What's this bad butch doing here?" he asked. "I am not a butch, I am a monkey," said Average Monkey. "It tells," exclaimed the woodcutter. "Those talking bushes are the worst kind." "No, wait," cried Average Monkey, as the woodcutter picked her up. But the woodcutter ignored her cries, and carried the monkey away under his arm. Average Monkey never finished eating the front door made from Toffees, and Jessie remained trapped in the witch's cage. That's it," said the witch. "I win. I get to keep Jessie." "Not so fast," said Chris. "Here's still a front door left, which is made of carrots, and I haven't had a turn yet." "I don't have to give you a turn," laughed the witch. "My game, my rules." "I think you should give him a chance. It's only fair." "Fine," said the witch. "But you saw what happened to the monkeys. He won't last long." "What?" said the witch. "Where's your sense or impatience? I thought you wanted Jessie back." Chris ignored the witch and chattered at Hetty pile of sticks. He came back to the clearing and started to small the campfire. Carefully, he broke off a piece of the door of the house made from carrots and toasted it over the fire. Once it had cooked and cooled just a little, he took a bite. He quickly devoured the whole piece. Chris sat down on a nearby log. "You failed," cackled the witch. "You were supposed to eat a whole door." I haven't finished," explained Chris. I am just waiting for my food to go down." When Chris' food had digested, he broke another piece of the door, made with carrots, and ate it at the leisurely pace, and then waited for it to be said. Finally, Chris reached the last piece of the door made of carrots. He toasted it and let it cool a bit. He finished his last course. Chris had eaten the entire front door of the house made of carrots. The witch stamped her foot angrily. "You must have tried me," she said. "I don't reward cheering." "I don't think so," said a voice. It was the woodcutter. He walked back into the clearing, carrying his axe. "This little boy won't fair and square. Now hand over Jessie, or I will chop your broomstick in half." The witch looked horrified. She grabbed her broomstick and placed it behind her. Then huffing, she opened the door of the cage. Chris hurried over and grabbed Jessie. Fortunately, Jessie was unharmed. Chris thanked the woodcutter and hurried on to meet Leslie. It was starting to get dark when Chris got lost Leslie's house. His friend threw her arms around him. "I was so worried," cried Leslie. "You are very late." As Chris described his day, he would tell that Leslie didn't believe him, so he grabbed a napkin from his pocket. "What's that?" asked Leslie. Chris unwrapped a doorknob made from ice cream pudding, he said. Leslie almost fell off her chair. Then